Before I came to Amsterdam to study business and economics, I worked in a bank in my hometown, Munich. And I left this bank for one particular reason. Because even though the people there earn sufficient amounts of money, they all seemed dissatisfied with their life. They were frustrated with their career opportunities. They were unhappy with their relationships. And they were constantly stressed out. But these people, they all had one thing in common. They did not want to change it. And even outside of the bank, I kept on meeting people who were unhappy with their lives, but unwilling to change them. And every time these people saw somebody who had a great relationship, who was happy with his job, or who seized a great opportunity and was successful, those people just said that this person was at the right time, at the right spot, and got lucky. We all know it, right? However, when you study marketing, you realize pretty quickly that products are always at the right time, at the right spot. Just, wait. Take this Coke can, for example. Ladies, by the way, I'm sorry to disappoint, there was a Coke can in my pocket. Every time you're first... Good times, good times. However, every time you're thirsty, I can assure you 100% that there is a Coke vending machine just around the corner. And in fact, there is one right in this corner of the room. Coke vending machine right there. Do you want a free Coke? Nice and warm, my friend. So is Coca-Cola just distributing these vending machines at random and got lucky that people bought it? Or do they have a marketing department which actually thinks about it, how to position them and how to reach out to the customers? It's quite obvious, right? So at this point, I started looking at my marketing book in a different way. Instead of learning for my exams or learning in order to help a company, I started learning for myself. I looked at it and I thought, how can I learn from this? What can I learn from these techniques? And I came up with an idea worth spreading. Now, I need to warn you, I'm going to present some theories now. And if you're expecting life-changing knowledge from these theories, I'm sorry to let you down. But if you're guessing that these theories are like empty jars you need to fill with your own knowledge and your own insight, you're an outstanding guesser. So if you study marketing, you're not a stranger to these 4 blocks. They're called the 4 P's and 4 C's of marketing. They're the foundation of every product launch. No product enters the market without filling these 4 blocks. And tonight, we're going to launch you. So the first one is the product and the customer needs. The product are you, yourself, and all the capabilities you have. And the customer needs are the needs of the people you need for your success. And your product has to match these needs. However, customer needs are something really tricky. Because your stated need tonight, for example, for this TEDx event is that you want to be inspired and entertained by great speakers. But then there's something else. There's your unstated secret need. And tonight, I guess, this unstated secret need is that you want to go home afterwards, show your friends these videos, and brag about how sophisticated you are for attending such an event. Am I right? Now, these unstated needs are really hard to find. And if you find this secret need, you can be sure that you have a massive competitive advantage. But I can't tell you what they are. You have to find it yourself. And the only advice I can give you on this is never, ever, ever try Googling them. They are secret needs you don't want to know about. Now, your product has to meet the customer's needs. And most of the time, when you do it for the first time, you will realize that it doesn't. But don't be sad about it, because the process is called R&D, which stands for research and development, and not research and depression. Even though you realize that your product doesn't meet the customer needs, you can still develop. It's never too late for personal development. My grandpa is 83 years old, and he's learning English right now just so he can watch this video. What's your excuse? Now, who in this room ever wanted to be a rock star or famous DJ? That's quite a lot, right? And why shouldn't you? If somebody would come up with a contract and would ask me, you want to sign up to be a rock star? I would take it immediately. All the fame and fortune, fast cars, giving concerts in front of 100,000 people. That would be great. But that's just half of the story. Because who in this audience actually is a rock star? And the reason why so many people fail to become a rock star is the same reason why I never became one. Because when I started playing guitar at the age of 16, this man was my idol. His name is John Butler, here at his own TED Talk in Sydney. And he started playing at the age of 16 as well. Now, how did John Butler become an outstanding guitar player and I didn't? It's because he dedicated himself to it. While I played once or twice a week, he played every free minute. While I was too shy to play in front of people, he went out busking in the streets. And while I played it safe and went to university, he quit university just to pursue a career in music. Now, I'm not trying to inspire anybody to quit their university right away and just go out busking in the streets. But next time you see somebody successful, ask yourself, what are his costs? Because this didn't come for free. There must be some costs behind it. And then ask yourselves, would you be willing to pay it? Because when people are told about the countless hours of practice, the endurance needed, and the risks involved in becoming a rock star, most of them don't want to do it anymore. But if it still sounds tempting to you, you should go for it. Now, after figuring out your product, your customer needs, your price, your costs, it's time to think about how to let people know you're out there. Because life is just basically like a big supermarket. And in a big supermarket, people are exposed to 300 products per minute. And this little girl could be your customer. She could be anybody, your future boss, or even your wife. And all these products around her, okay, I know, give her 20 years. But all these products around her are potential future husbands, just like you. How should she know for which one to stop, take it out of the shelf, and put it in a shopping cart? We have a concept for this as well. It's called AIDA, and it has nothing to do with this boat company. AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. So the first thing you need to do is you need to grab the customer's attention. You can do that with anything. It could be a smile when you enter into the room. It could be a nice hat, a flashy outfit. Or you can simply stand on the red carpet on the stage right in front of them. Once you grab the attention, you need to create an interest within them. So that happens by displaying the attributes you thought about which they want. And because you thought about it, these attributes create a desire in them because you're exactly what they need. And that ultimately leads to the action part. It sounds a bit weird when talking about dating, maybe better with products, but it's really essential because in the market as well as in life, it's not the product which is the best which gets sold the most, but it's the best promoted product which gets sold the most. And now you can go through all these steps and still fail. Simply because people don't know where to buy you. They don't know where to find you. This applies to every single life situation. But in my case, I just really like the dating example, so we're going to stay with that. So when I was 16 in Germany, that's the age when you're allowed to go out drinking, so I went to nightclubs with my friend. Also because we thought that this is the prime place to meet women. Now, were we successful at meeting women at nightclubs? No. Was there even a realistic chance for us to meet women at nightclubs? Not at all. Why? Not only because of this. This could have worked. It's because at an average German nightclub, there's 80% men and 20% women. There's a massive oversupply of men, which leads to greater competition, less success. Now, I still managed to solve this problem. I wish I could tell you, oh yeah, I enhanced my product and I went out into the... Nah, that's not what happened. What happened was that I simply positioned myself differently. To be honest, my mother positioned me differently because she signed me up for standard dancing lessons. That was the reaction of my friends as well. But after 1 hour of standard dancing, I was not even mad anymore because from an economic perspective, that was amazing. There was a room full of women, such an oversupply, such a high demand for a guy like me. So little men, so little supply. It was like a supermarket with more customers and products. That was great. I went overnight from being a 3 in the club to a 9 at dancing, or maybe a 7. But still improvement. So what we can learn from this is that sometimes you need to consider all the options because sometimes the place which is the most obvious to meet your customers is not the place where they need you the most. And now after filling out all these 4 boxes, there's one major question left for tonight. Why do people, when we can analyze our situation and position us in the market, why would they attribute success solely to luck? And the answer here for is this. We tell ourselves that other people are lucky for the same reason We take a pill when we have a weight problem, or we drug our children when they're hyperactive. We have a problem and we're looking for a solution. And this one is easy, it's fast, and it's effortless. But it's also a dead end. Because rather than tackling the root of our dissatisfaction, the cause of our problems, we just swallow a luck pill and numb ourselves to all the symptoms. But with this luck pill, we also numb ourselves to all the great opportunities this world has to offer. And we constrain ourselves in developing our personal best. I was at this point. When I was in the bank, I was just as dissatisfied as all my colleagues. But I didn't swallow the luck pill. What I did was I analyzed, what am I good at? I positioned myself differently. I moved to Amsterdam to enhance my product. I met so many great people and got inspired, as well as inspired others. And within this 1.5 years, I'm here now. I went from being this poor, sad little man in a bank who was wearing a suit all day to presenting on a TEDx stage, my personal dream. So the next time you feel as dissatisfied as the people in my bank, you're unhappy with your relationships, you don't like where your life is going, or you simply feel like your life could be so much better, you have two options. You can either swallow the luck pill and go on with business as usual, or you can analyze your situation, take action, and truly change the game. Thank you.